Nazis, UFOs, the Bell, Vril. So confusing, so interesting, and yet so potentially rich in terms of finding content into the occult and into the whole UFO, alien, Nazi science phenomena, worldview, etc. I am obsessed with this subject at the moment, and I will be doing a lot of work in it. I will be doing presentations in it. I am going back and forth to Germany constantly. What originally started as an investigations and research into the second volume of Walpurgis Night book series has become something very different from me and taken me down a road I never expected to go. I've now a real interest in UFOs and aliens. I still don't have much of an interest in aliens anyway, to be honest with you. To me, it's interdimensionals, ultra terrestrials, as John Keel called them, demons, fairies, but all the same thing. But anyway, same phenomena. Anyway, yes, the Nazis in the UFO thing. Let me tell you where it stands at the moment. I'm just throwing my thing into the mix. My my feelings about this. Yes, it's true. Yes, the Nazi bell, the whole thing, brilliant, the lot. It's true. It's all true. But there has been an extrapolated backstory based on UFO lore that has developed in the years since Roswell that is giving an accurate description of it. This is only a basic introduction of where I'm at the moment. Don't get your knickers in a twist, but here's how I see things. I'm still on the researching stuff, but this is the trajectory I'm basically following at the moment. Now, there's a lot of confusion about Vril. Okay, the Vril was a book called from the 1870s about the coming of the power race. It was a popular book of fiction that sold in millions of copies all over the world and was greatly embraced by both theosophists and Ariosophists. And to the point where Rudolf Steiner and Blavatsky both said the book was absolutely rooted in fact. It could not, it was a secret code. Basically, the story involves these angelic beings who are very similar to the Irish Tuatha Danann, but they live inside the earth. Again, like the Irish Tuatha Danann, they're down there until humanity calls them to the surface. You get this in Germanic mythology, you get this in Irish mythology. The idea of a one sort of perfect human or a perfect humanoid god hybrid that went to live in the earth when something went wrong and the forces of evil took control. Very common, very commonly, even in the giant lore, you get a lot of this kind of thing as well. Went into the center of the earth, and they're waiting there until humanity has developed. In the case of the Irish mythology, Ireland is at its greatest crisis. You wonder where they were during the famine, but anyway. And in the Germanic Black Hexan neo-Nazi idea, when the Aryan race has achieved pure blood inside themselves and attain this armament state where they have nothing but pure Aryan blood, and then the real return to the surface with their technology to serve only the Aryan people. Now, the Vril have a thing called a Virilia, which is a all-permeating fluid which is capable of achieving any kind of magical or technological aspect, development, process, result. Vrilya to me sounds more and more like a DMT type thing. And there's more, and the Nazi bell, what little we can gather from it, the thing didn't seem to actually fly. It was contained within a grid, a circular magic grid that was held around the circumference of the object that changed reality in the object. I'm more of the opinion now that the Nazis were not trying to develop spaceships, although they would have done it, they could have had that ability. They definitely were interested in the subject. There's no doubt about that. But I'm talking about the flying saucer bells and the UFOs. They were going into the world of non-material warfare. They had had a taste of the other side. They were experimenting with drugs, experimenting with changing people's consciousness using high voltage and high electromagnetic fields in their area, ultra uh, controlled G forces, which even in the DARPA experiments, they say they see gray aliens and they see fairies, and then they go on to say it's just an hallucination. Then the Third Reich scientists had come to the conclusion that they could fight the war. The wonder weapon was to fight in another reality, not to fight in this world. Now, the British were actually concerned about this to the point where they actually were smart enough to actually think something like this could be going down. This is why they took as much interest in occult and magic people as the Third Reich did. They just played it more low key, and they pretended it was all nonsense, where the Nazis kind of pretended it was all nonsense, yet they were surrounded by sigils and everything else like that, and talking about, that National Socialism is a spiritual path, first of all, and it's a political second, into Hitler's speeches even, right up until the 1940s. But the goddess of fate, and they were looking to be in the kind of super soldier idea to escape this reality and fight and combat in the astral realms, where they could actually maybe go into the astral realms and kill Eisenhower's, which they may have done. Eisenhower was fell to bits during the war. He didn't live to see the end of it. His health got worse and worse, and they said it was polio. But you do wonder if something went on there. Churchill, made of sterner stuff, probably had a way of defeating it, and so on. A lot, there's ways of it that they saw a way of moving into a different reality and attacking. It's a fantastic subject. I'm going to go really deep into it, and I'm not going to be going to look other people's books and videos. I'm going to do what I've done with everything else in my work. I've on the ground research, get out there, get to Germany, get to Poland, talk to people, get to the Czech Republic, get to where these points are, find people who may have known it, look at the locations, film them, discuss them, explore them, measure them, just like I did with the megaliths. There's something huge behind this story. It's so big that it absolutely terrified the United States, which is probably why they rushed into World War II. It's probably why the Russians threw everything at them, and they came very, very close. It was they wanted the Vrilya, and the Vrilya was not going to return from the Earth. It was going to be them transferring into the surface of the planet, which was the other layer of cognition into the astral realms. It's all true. The whole thing, the contact with entities, the transference out. The bell was built. It's real. The Vrilya were probably a real in some sense to them, probably connected to what we call grey aliens today. Hold on to your knickers. This is going to be an incredible story I have lined up for you.